Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel from Woodworking with Dash. Today we're going to do something very unique. We're going to make this box. There's nothing unique about that, is there? It's just a normal box. But we're going to make the whole box, everything on the drop saw. And I mean everything. We're going to rip the timber, we're going to dock the timber, we're going to put the splines in on that drop saw. We're going to do the groove for the bottom on the drop saw. We're going to do the rebate for the top on the drop saw. The whole job is going to be done on the drop saw. You think it's impossible? Well, this is the proof that it's not. So if you have a drop saw at home, get a bit of timber and you can make this box. Okay, let's get going. What do you think about that? A box made just on a drop saw. That's it, I didn't use anything else. But the problem is, you've seen the box, I haven't. But I do that part of the video last, after I make the box. So I hope it come out good. But I've got no idea how I'm going to do this. All I know is that I'm going to do it. I've got some idea. I'm going to make the body out of Occam that I get from the big box store. I'm going to make the top out of centre, which I get from the big box store. So if you've got a drop saw and you got access to a big box store, you can make this box. Okay guys, I hope you're really enjoying my videos. I try my best to entertain you with my box making. So please subscribe and ring the bell. Okay, let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to do, I've got the travel is 300 on the saw. So the box can't be over 300 wide, because I've got to rip it with the drop saw. So I'll cut the Occam off in 305 strips, a couple of pieces of that, and we'll just take it from there. I cut the Occam to the height of the box that we need, 80mm. A lot easier than what I thought. The Occam's a fairly light timber, so it's not super hard. So the saw cut it easily, and I put a wide stopper on, so I'll have something to rest the piece up against. You don't want a small stopper that can move. A wide stopper will work well, actually. So the next trick is I've got to put in the groove for the bottom. Yeah, I know. What I'm going to do, the saw has got a stopper on it. See, I've got to make sure the saw doesn't cut all the way through. So it's got a stopper on it here. You see where I'm pointing? And there's an adjustment here. So I'll just adjust it up the best I can, so the saw stops about 5/8 of an inch up. And then it should just pull along level. And that way I'll get the groove in. Boy, that was quick, guys. I've only been at this for about half an hour. I've got the box cut and grooved, and the bottom cut. It's going very, very well. It's a lot quicker than what I thought. One of the hard parts is going to be putting in the splines, I think. Anyway, I've got some ideas about that too. So what we'll do now, we'll put the box together like we normally do with the masking tape method. Boy, this is going really quick and good. I don't know why I haven't done this before. Cutting small pieces can be a bit dangerous on the drop saw, but take your time. Think about how you're going to do things and the safe way to do things, and it'll work out. Glue up. Oh yeah, I was going to say the word of the day, wasn't I? Every time I go to do a glue up, I think of the word of the day. The word of the day today was radical, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right. But this is radical. First time I've ever tried making a box just with the drop saw. It's working quite well. I think because this Ockham's very soft, it's very easy to cut. I don't know whether I like to do with a really hard wood, but it seems to be going alright, it seems to be going fine. So we'll just put the glue up now. And after we glue up, it'll be story time. Yay! Yay! Story I'm going to tell for you today is maybe a little bit gross, but it's true. Anyway, I think you'll enjoy it. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. Oh, cool, cool. When you're putting ply, there's normally a good side and a bad side. If you're going to polish the inside, put the good side to the inside. If you're going to put another material part on top, put it to the outside. So this one, I'm just putting it to the inside. And we just do this. We fold it up like a piano accordion. It's a big bit of bones there, square, I can see that. Cool. Not long. Here we go. Here we go. Tightening the box up. These box brands, whoever invented these should get a medal too. Damn, they're so easy. And everything comes up square. And you just got to tighten them up. Yeah, check the square. There'll be a small square over here. It's radical. It's a square. Cool. Look at that. One box made with a drop saw. How easy was that? Putting the splines in might be a little bit difficult, but we'll see. Time for a cup of tea and a story. Bloody cold in Melbourne today, I give you. Back before we had the yacht, I worked for a firm that renovated pubs. A small workshop where we made all the joinery for the pubs. We made all the bars and bar tops and fitted out the bottle shops and all that. So they had an old pub to renovate. We used to do it in 2 sessions. We used to do 1 bar at a time so they could keep operating. So we were working on they had closed what they used to call the ladies lounge. So we had been in there previously, measure all up, and we'd made all the joinery and all the bars and everything ready to go. And now we had to strip it all out. Closed it at about 4 in the afternoon, I think, that day. In the meantime, we arrived there early, and I had to get something out of the back shed. I forget what it was now. And anyway, it was a tilt door garage. So they gave me the key and oh yeah, I walked down the back, opened the door tight, I pulled it up, and I walk in there. Bloody cobwebs everywhere, of course. Hadn't been open for years. I'm looking around, and I see redback spider. Oh shit, redback spider. Then I turn around, and it was like Raiders of the Lost Ark. They had a whole nest of spiders on back of the tilt door, and when I opened it, they all dropped down. I had to get a broom or a stick or something, and I'm trying to wiped them all away and put a bit of cardboard on my head. I ran out, and that was the start of a good day with pests. The bar had finished up, and we were allowed in to start renovating, to start demolishing. We had a few bins there, a couple of bins there, which we were going to throw all the old bars and all the old joinery in. Strip it out, take the doors off, start taking the flaps off and shelves off the back units. And I started to take the lino off the top of the main bar. Because you just get chisel underneath and just rip it off. And it was all squashy, and I ripped it off. And it was white underneath. So it's normally, being 100 years old, it's normally just timber. It's white. And then when I look at it closely, it was moving. It was literally a sea of maggots underneath the bar tops, and it was everywhere. Mate, these maggots must have been bloody drunk with the lived on beer. It was just a sea of maggots, so we had to stop work. We had to get the fumigators in, kill all the maggots to get rid of all of them, and to get rid of the redback spiders in the back shed. So work stopped for a few days while that happened. And anyway, after all that was done and we got it all stripped out, the hardest part about putting in a new bar for a joiner is doing the miters on the handrail, the big chunky timber handrail that everybody leans against. They had to be mitered. They were chunky. They were 6 inches by about 7 inches, and they're all angled and all sculpted out. And so they had to be mitered on site, but they also had to be checked in to rods coming through the bar to hold them up so they're very sturdy. So you really only get one shot at doing the miter by hand, and that's pressure. Miter on the very corner of the bar. You can't hide anything. If it's wrong, it's wrong. The boss was one of the best cannon makers I've ever seen, and he got his special saw out that he uses, super sharp, and he marked it all out, and he did it. He started cutting the miter, and every 3 or 4 strokes he stopped, went around the back, he looked at where his saw was in relationship to the line, then he'd do some more strokes, because once the saw starts cutting off a miter, you'll never get it back. It will just keep going on an angle until you totally stop it. Very hard to get it back. So the trick is not to let it go off the line. So he'd do 3 or 4 strokes. It took him over an hour to cut the miter, but they were good. They were perfect. And that's a lot of pressure. Because we didn't have a spare one. Oops, we'll mark that one up. Let's get another one. No, that was it. That's the story for today. We'll get back to the boxes now. I've just done the rebate with the drop saw. Yeah, it's not too bad. I've got to clean it up with the chisel now. I'm going to cut the long bevel now, so it's very dicey with the saw right over a 45. I'm not going to hold it, cramped it down, so it can't move. Otherwise it might take off on me. So we'll cut this now and see what happens. Okay guys, we're going on now. You see how I cramped it down to do the long miter, to do the long bevels. It was just too dangerous. The short bevels were fine, but I had room to hold it. At the top, I'm just going to sand it all up now. Come up quite radical. There you go. Fits in the box. All on the drop saw so far. Okay guys, just take the box out of the cramp to see what we've got. Yeah, come on, Rob. To cut the splines. I've been thinking about this. Because I'm going to cut them down, I'm pivoting and cutting the saw blade down. I think the miter has to point towards the centre of the blade. Because otherwise it's going to be longer on one side than the other side, I think. If I've got my geometry right. Anyway, we'll see what we just see. Marking the where the splines go in freehand. Okay guys, I've done the splines freehand. It worked well actually. I was right, I pointed the miter towards the centre of the blade and it cut evenly on both sides. Which is good. So now I just got to cut the small timbers for the splines themselves and glue them in. Okay guys, you see I cut the merbau for the splines. They'll come up good. Yeah. And with the lid, it's almost done. All we're going to do now is after the splines are dry, cut the splines and sand the box up. And then spray. And we're done. Look at that, a box made just with a drop saw. All finished, all polished up. A magnificent looking box, made only with a drop saw. How good is that? I didn't know whether I could do it, but thanks for watching again. Please subscribe and ring the bell. I'm only a new channel. I really am looking for subscribers. It's a slow count, but I'm getting there. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it, a lot of fun. It gives me great pleasure to keep you entertained with my box making. Okay guys, we'll see you in the next video.